the special prosecutor, the state police, and other law enforcement agencies, so that accountability and justice becomes a reality for citizens.
Sigurisht ju e solli vëmendjen tani tek gjëra më e madhe, do thoja unë, jo vetëm e dekadës së fundit, jo vetëm e mandatit e 3 mandateve socialistëve që janë në pushtet, po besoj një nga ngjarjet më të rëndësishme pas vitit 1997 që është reforma në drejtësi. Dhe ne po ndanim mendime para fillimit të emisionit dhe të dy jam dakord që janë shenjat e para që ky sistem i pavarur po funksionon, po shihet qartësisht në gjykatën kushtetuese, po reflektohet në padyshim dhe në gjykatën e lartë dhe padyshim në mënyrën se si SPAK po e godet sigurisht korrupsionin, po patjetër edhe me fillimin e hetimeve për 21 janarin po godet edhe temi aty ku ne mendonim që ishin fshehur të paprekshmit, kështjellën politike në vend. Sigurisht ju erdhet një moment decisiv, kanë luar disa vite, si e shikoni reformën drejtësi dhe nuk po themi që shkojmë te modeli britanik, po të paktën apo europianizohet drejtësia shqiptare.
So basically, the rule of law is a really fundamental part of any country's democratic setup. And it's been really good to see the strides that have been made, the progress that's been made around the justice institutions. And we're really proud to be a partner, both for the Special Prosecutor and the Special Prosecution Office, but also for the whole of the justice system. And you will have seen that in May, we launched a new judicial partnership with our most senior judges, now engaging with the judges here in Albania. We're going to see those exchanges intensifying. We will see training at the School of Magistrates with British experts, British judges. We'll do that on all the rule of law institutions. And we've seen some really important progress, even in the 3 years that I've been here, where I would say that has really been transformed. You are now seeing justice happening. And it's so much better when that's national justice happening in the country. Sometimes, of course, there needs to be international actions as well. But national justice is a really important part. And we will continue to be a real champion for accountability, for shoring up that rule of law and getting the balance right. So you really not just see some cases being progressed, but where every citizen can have confidence that you can actually get justice in the courts. And we're starting to see that now with a number of cases which I have been experiencing with some Albanians talking to me about their experiences in the court system. But it needs to be justice for all.
Zoti ambasador, ju në një nga intervistat tona, nuk kujtohet e fundit, apo jo më patë të thënë që do të ketë dizinjime të tjera, do të ketë temi një listë tjetër që nuk është pra vetëm ish kryeministrit, ish presidenti Berisha, po do të ketë tjerë dhe bile përdoret shprehja që do të ketë from both aisles, pra nga dy krahët e politikës. Apo ndodh kjo? A ka ndodhur apo ndodh?
So, of course, we take a balanced approach, and we have done so in these issues as well as in others. And we've had a long-standing position that we will take whatever measures necessary to help tackle corruption and criminality, both in the United Kingdom, issues that affect the United Kingdom, but also across the world. And that is going to continue. Those decisions are taken at the highest level of the government. And so, of course, now it will be for the new Foreign Secretary or our new Home Secretary to make such decisions. But what we will do is make sure that we continue this focus on accountability. But of course, we also want to continue to be a strong partner in supporting the national justice system so that you really get rule of law working well here as well.
Zoti ambasador, këtu është krijuar, nuk është thjesht një përshtypje, për fat të keq, po duket një realitet se pushteti politik është solid në duart e njërës palë, aq sa njerëzit mendojnë që në zgjedhjet e vitit 2025 ndoshta nuk do të ketë surpriza, sepse pala tjetër, pra opozita, është e coptuar, është e dobësuar, është e përçar edhe për shkak goditjeve që ka marrë nga ndërkombëtarët, nga Shtetet e Bashkuara dhe nga Britania e Madhe kryesisht. Dhe kjo mua dhe shumë vetë atje na lë me një pikë pyetje, që kjo shkon përtej preferencave që ne mund kemi për të parë dikë të përballet me drejtësinë, të rast zotin Berisha. A është sepse çdo demokraci sigurisht funksionon me një sistem politik balancuar, por nga ana tjetër funksionon me një sistem ku politika nuk ka të gjithë pushtetin. Ndërkohë deri dje deri para se reforma në drejtësi të filloi të funksiononte, kush zgjidhej kryeministër ishte mbret. Pra kishte ndikim në sistemin e drejtësisë, kishte ndikim deri në sistemin e taksave, por edhe në sistemin e temit komunikimit publik, në media, pra në gjithë shka. Kush fitonte zgjedhjen në Shqipëri, fitonte praktikisht gjitha pushtetet. A është sistemi i ri i drejtësisë aq i fuqishëm sa të arrit balancoj një situatë e cila është totalisht e pabalancuar nga pikpamja politike, ose e pushtetit politik?
So, Sukla, I think you've asked a really important question, because I think in any society, getting the balance between the different branches of government is really important. I think what we've seen is in Albania, until 2016 and the changes that were made in the justice reforms, we didn't have an effective judiciary. And you need the three branches, the executive, the legislature, the parliament, and the judiciary, to be effective and to be functioning. What we've seen in the last 3 years, of course, is the justice system, the judiciary, the courts, the prosecutors, actually getting into gear. So of course that's going to create a different dynamic, a different balance. And it's important that that does find the right balance for the future. We're lucky in the UK that we have those three branches in relative stability, even if sometimes there are complaints about how far they go. But of course what you do have is then political flux, and within the executive and the legislature, of course you have the exchange of power, you have different political parties, but what I think is important is the principle of political pluralism, and I hope that Albania continues to move along a path where you've historically had two very powerful parties, but you are starting to see some different signs of different forms of politics for the future, and I hope you get more flourishing pluralist politics, which then represent the whole of society in Albania. In the UK elections that we've just had, there have been many elections around the world. We've just had ours, of course, this last couple of weeks. And of course, yes, the Labour government came in with a very big majority, taking over from the Conservative Party. But we also saw some big changes with the Liberal Democrat Party achieving their highest ever number of seats in Parliament. We saw other political parties changing, so the Scottish National Party ended up with a big shift in their number of seats in the Westminster Parliament, dropping very significantly, but with actually others doing well in Scotland. We saw the Reform Party getting their biggest share of the vote. Now, this is only right in a democracy that you have these shifts reflecting the opinion of citizens. So my wish for Albania is that you do get to that balance both between the branches of government, but also between political parties and within Parliament. And I've been delighted as British Ambassador here to, together with my embassy, to have really supported democratisation and the functioning of Parliament, and even to help encourage politicians to come together and resume a functioning Parliament, because without that, you would not get progress. And as I've often said to people, British tea is always available.
Sidomos në orën 4. Mirë, rikthehemi pas ndërprerjes shkurtër publicitare sërish me ambasadorin Alistair King Smith në këtë intervistë super interesante të fundit para largimit nga Shqipëria.